Hello, my name is Renee. Hello, hello. Today we are going to talk about something that I think is absolutely delightful, and that is my notebooks, my little collection of notebooks that I use very regularly to help me do the things that I want to do in this life. A couple weeks ago, I saw a Ruby Granger video that she made all about her notebooks, and that's where I got this idea. I thought it was very enjoyable and very inspiring. I hope one day to be closer to her level, but currently I have these 3 different books. This one has a bunch inside. I'm gonna show them all to you, tell you what I do with them, and why I have the ones that I have. I'm so glad you are here. Please let me know what your notebook situation is down in the comments. I love to get ideas on ways that I can do more writing. I always said I hated writing, but I do write a lot, so maybe I'm wrong about myself. Anyway, please like, please subscribe. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And here's the video. I think we're gonna start with the Big Daddy, okay? This is a traveler's notebook. It's basically just a piece of leather that has an elastic on it, and you can fill it with so many different inserts. I have a few in here. The first one I have in here is what I would call my reading notebook, perhaps. It is the notebook where I write down all of the books that I've read. It's also, sometimes I write down goals, things that I would need to track. So I have, for example, I want to read all of the books associated with the Literary Life podcast. And so I have them all written out here. And then when I read one of the books and listen to the episodes, I highlight it. Previously, this was just the list of books I've read, but I'm branching out a little. Also in the back of this notebook, I have my lending tracker. So if I lend a book to anyone, I'll just mark it down. So that is the first little notebook that I have, and that is always in here. I carry that around with me most places, to be honest. Okay, the next one I have in here is my calendar. So I have a monthly calendar, and on this I write down appointments. I write down deviations from my regular schedule, so I don't usually write in, if I have an event that happens every week, I don't write it in every week. It gets a bit too messy, but if for some reason it's canceled, or there's something different about it, or maybe I'm hosting it that week, whatever, I'll mark those down. I also mark down birthdays in here. I'm almost done the calendar that I currently have, so I have the next year's calendar in here as well that I have started to fill out. I am at the point where I kind of need both of them at the same time. So it's a little extra bulky than normal. All right, also in my traveler's notebook, this is my newest edition, and it is a weekly calendar. And in here, it has on one side a week, and then on the other side, it has spaces where you can write notes. So I've been using this for planning videos and very much more specific to-dos for the week. I like planning things out for the week, and I all through university, I would just on scrap paper, I would basically do this. I would write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I would write the list of things that I needed to do each day. And I thought, why not upgrade and do it in a little notebook like this? And I really like that it's blank, because I don't have to commit to doing this every week. But when I'm feeling that I want to get a lot done, or get things done at a certain time, or have due dates, etc., I can organize myself. Excellent. Okay, The last insert in that notebook is my journal. I just finished up one of these, so I started a new one. Very satisfying. But in here, I write, it's kind of a catch-all for my thoughts, ideas I'm thinking through, prayers. Sometimes I will brainstorm in here a little bit if I, like for maybe an event, like for my birthday, if I'm thinking about what I want to do for my birthday, I might do a little brainstorming here. After I finish reading a book, sometimes I like to just kind of journal about it, write out just general thoughts and feelings I had about the book. It helps me to remember it and to really think about what I read without just jumping into the next one, which is sometimes my tendency. So I will do that in here as well. I'll just write the title of the book and write some thoughts after I finish reading it or while I'm reading it. Okay, that is everything that is in my traveler's journal. Oh, I love that it just all squishes together. I also love that these things can come out. So sometimes if I just want to take my journal somewhere, I'll just take this out and take it somewhere. I don't always have to bring the whole thing, which is really nice. I do a lot of bike commuting, so it's nice to not have to carry so much everywhere I go. Mwah, I love her. Next notebook I have is my commonplace. Now, this commonplace is pretty specific to literature, at least at this point. I only write down quotes from things I have been reading. So after I finish reading a book or while I'm reading it, I'll write down something that struck me, something that I thought was beautiful, something that I thought was funny, something that I want to think about again. And frequently I will find myself flipping through this and reading this to myself, or often reading it to people. It's really nice. I wanted this to be a separate volume than my journals because this is something that I think I'd want to reference for a lot longer period. Like this is something that I might always go back to. And it also is nice to have this, it's like public information. My journal, I would not want anyone to read or look at, but this is something anyone could look through it and use it as a reference tool if they wanted. Mostly for me, but over the past year or two, like one of the things I've really been working on is remembering what I read more. And so part of that has been this, going back, writing out things that I read, also the kind of free writing that I just do in my journal about a book. Very nice. And I love this bright orange color. This is the, oh gosh, I do not know how to say it. Lucturum 1917 notebooks, the dotted one. I really like these. The last notebook type item that is in daily use is a notebook that is basically scrap paper. So this is just a notepad, which I like because it lays open on the desk. And this is something that I would use for writing grocery lists, or sometimes I write a daily to-do list on this if it's out. Sometimes I'll have this beside me when I'm reading, and I don't know if you have this, but the moment you sit down to read, a million things pop into your head that you want to do or that you need to check on later. And so instead of doing those things right away, I can write them on this. This stays in my house, and I don't really take this anywhere with me usually. But I write things down on it, mainly that I know I don't want to keep long term. Everything on this paper pretty much gets recycled after I finish with it. This is an MD paper notepad made in Japan. Very nice, but often for this function I'll use whatever scrap notebook we have around. But we were running low on scrap paper in this house, and so I thought I'm gonna get a nice notepad because I love beautiful paper. And why not make my grocery lists? Fabu. All right, there you have it. That is my little notebook collection. Gosh, I just love writing by hand. It is wild. Like, I'll be so confused and then I'll journal about it by hand and all of a sudden everything makes sense. If you haven't given it a go, I would highly recommend. Oh gosh, I just love these kind of things. Anyway, I'm so glad you're here. Please comment below. Let me know if you are a heavy notebook user and what you use them for. I hope you have a delightful day. It is so sunny here and nice. And I'm gonna go bike around town in a little bit. But I really wanted to show these to you today. I hope you're doing well, and I will talk to you very soon. Goodbye.